Sincere follow-up to that, I think that the people that I know who succeed in acting or writing or any of the creative aspects of the business are the people who pursue it with passion and almost they don't necessarily even care about the outcome or getting the job. It's just they're doing this because they love it, and they're going to keep doing it no matter how many times they're rejected or
they don't need to be a big star and invited to a big.
And those are the people that just stick with it and end up succeeding in general. So if the people who love it succeed, I think.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Can you speak more quietly, please?
And there we go. Got it.
There we go.
This question's for Misha. I wanted to ask about working on Divine, the series. You play a priest in that. I'm wondering, how different was that from playing Castiel, since it's also a heavenly type of role?
Well, the biggest difference is obviously the contrast ratio, because Castiel's coat is white and the priest is dressed in black. To be perfectly honest with you, Divine, I don't know if has anyone had a chance to see it. It's online. It's a very cool little web series that Ivan Hayden, who's the visual effects coordinator on Supernatural, directed and produced, and it's really his project.
You're kidding me.
And if we could all stay seated in an orderly fashion.
We're all good, correct? Tech ops?
We're
good. Keep talking.
Okay. It's just a burning building.
God can get us out.
What? Yeah, we're fine. We're going to be fine. I'll make sure you all get into heaven. So anyway, we're actually done shooting the series, or not the series, but the first 6 episodes. It's sort of like a pilot series, sort of see if it takes. And I shot 3 days, so I didn't do a ton of work on it. It's got a lot of production value because it's the whole visual effects team on Supernatural sort of volunteered their time. So there's a lot of monsters and stuff like that you don't normally get in a little web series. And every role that you play is very different. Or in a perfect world, every role you play is very different from another. And if they're not, you're doing something wrong. So they have nothing to do with each other, to answer your question. They're completely different. Yeah.
Awesome. I have a question for Julie about Mad Men. I know a lot of people talk about the fact that it kind of glamorizes an era and time that really wasn't so glamorous. And I just was wondering, what do you think about that? Do you think that that's true? I mean, I feel like I watch it and it doesn't, as cool as the costumes are, it's not really that glamorous, the way the women are treated and so forth. And I just wondered your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not glamorous, it's shitty. Hildy got put down constantly by people, but at the same time, okay, this is the thing with that, is back then, I feel like all of the sexual harassment and difficulty that the women had to forward themselves in the workplace, it was all thrown in their face, like literally face to face. They just say, well, you're a woman, so you can't do that. And now, it's just behind their back. Not all the time, but, I think that it's still there, and it's just more politically correct to not talk about it. So, I don't know which is better, right? I mean, but it definitely, working, most of my scenes were with Vincent Kartheiser, who's awesome, and, you do feel kind of shitty if all you do when you go to work is get insulted. Except I did get to get drunk. I got drunk a couple times.
Supernatural's like for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's glamorous, I guess, to answer your question. I hope that's answered.
For this panel today only, this will be our last question from the floor. So here we go.
This is a question for everybody.
Besides the role you currently play, if you could play any other role on the show, who would you play and how would you play it differently?
Oh, those are always so tough.
I mean, we've talked about this before, but I would pick young Mary, and I would play the role more feminine.
Actually, we have talked about this before. And I actually...
We both have a thing for young Mary.
I love young Mary. And I love Amy, so, you know. And I think it's a kick-ass role.
You do or you don't?
I do.
That Mary was?
Yeah, young Mary.
Oh, young Mary.
I mean, old Mary, too. Old Mary.
Old Mary. I'd play Ash, because he's my favorite character on the show, and he gets to say some crazy, I mean... Party, what is it? Party in the back, business in the front, party in the back. Who gets to say that? Those are great lines. Fugly? What the? He gets to do that a lot? I mean, that's fun. He gets to throw out some wild stuff and be an idiot and flip his hair around. Like, who doesn't want to do that? I'd be Ash. If Ash was alive.
You know, you can get a mullet in real life if you...
I could cut a mullet into my own hair if I really wanted it that bad. His mullet got shorter. Did you guys notice that? He kind of updated his mullet, if that's possible. And you know why? Because they gave him his mullet at the end of when he died. He said, "Can I keep the mullet for fun?" And they said, "Yeah." So he took it home, and I think he played with it, cut it up, and he wore it for Halloween or something. And then when they said, "Ooh, you're coming back, bring the hair," and he went. And I think the hair girl, I think Jeannie was just freaking out, because you never ever, we don't ever get our clothes, we don't get anything just in case. They hang on to it until the show is burned to the ground, just in case you come back, they look bad.
And those wigs are like $5,000.
Yeah, they're expensive, and they worked hard on that. So for them to give him his wig was a little weird, but they gave it to him, and he wore it to Halloween. I think he played some rocker and they said, "Yeah, you got the wig, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." It looks a little different. So it was a little, I didn't see it. But he said, "Oh no," because it was different. He said he freaked. He was like, "Oh my God." I think Jeannie even phoned him directly. It's our hair gal. And said, oh God, please tell me you've got the wig." And he's like, "No, I've got it. We might have to do something with it, but I've got it." And they're like, "Oh no, okay, that's fine." I mean, there's continuity stuff that you think is a big deal. There's stuff that goes on all the time. They piece stuff together and you don't even know it. You don't even see it. You know, there's little things that just... I mean, if there was continuity, there are people that go watch movies and television shows specifically just looking for the lack of continuity. You see them big blockbuster features, you know, billion-dollar movies, and you see something completely screwed up, and you're like, or the hair. The hair is different in one shot, then they come back, and the hair is doing something different in the other shot, and you're like, ooh. That happens a lot. I just don't know if you guys notice it, because you're so enthralled by the acting. Do you guys see much? Have you guys actually noticed some inconsistencies? But you're looking for them too, aren't you? So that you could say, "Ha ha, we noticed this." Alright, that's it. That's all I got. Anything else?
Well, Julie, we got tweeted, if anybody is following tweets while you're in here. Do you Twitter?
I do. It's
you do
just
Twitter.
Julie McNiven.
We all do.
Colin Ferguson wanted us to ask you a question.
Oh God.
And you know what this is about, Julie. He wanted to know why you poured tequila on him last night? On his head?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay then. So you didn't?
I did, but, okay. But, that's not the whole story. I don't even know if he knows the whole story.
We want to hear the whole story. We believe you.
She was a raging drunk last night. Raging.
Tequila over his head, and I wasn't going to pour it, and then I don't know who, but someone knocked my hand. I swear to God. I swear to Misha. It wasn't me. But he did get tequila all over his head and his eyes, and then it went down his shirt somehow.
So we can all now tweet to Colin, because I'm sure he needs 2,000 tweets saying that Julie says it wasn't her. She was just playing around and somebody knocked her. So that's what we'll tell Colin. So
I'm very sorry that it burned your eyes.
And she's very sorry it burned his eyes. That's tequila. It'll be all right. So guys, let's thank them all for being here. Samantha, Misha, and Julie. We We have a really big Supernatural panel tomorrow. I hope to see all of you guys there again. Thank you for being here.
Come say hi to us at Photos and Autographs. We would love to talk to you each in person.
Yes, they're
in depth.
They are all over at the Hilton on the Walk of Fame. Thank you all very much.
We're not on the Walk of